Hello YouTube, I'm Sarah, and before we get started, just wanted to quick apologize. Life threw me a few hurdles, and while jumping over them, could not manage to find the time because there were so many hurdles to do any videos, but I'm hoping I've gotten a few tools that will hopefully help me out here, and I should be back in business. But today I wanted to do the Top 5 Wednesday. So this is my top 5 character tropes. The first one, and these aren't in any particular order, just more or less in the order I thought of them. The first one is the smart cop, the one that always seems to be able to figure out what is going on and be like one step ahead. And two examples would be one being Eve Dallas in the In Death series by J.D. Robb, and the second one would be Hercule Poirot from Agatha Christie and the Poirot series. The second character trope is one person that always seems to save the world, or that one person that can save the world. Nobody else, just this one person. Or maybe not even necessarily the world, just this little town or city or village or civilization or whatever it is. Some examples would be the Sword of Truth series by Terry Goodkind. The main character, or one of the main characters, Richard, is endowed with this, or given, I guess, this Sword of Truth, and only he can find the truth in these little clues that are left in prophecies and little like magics and whatnot that he comes across throughout his travels. Another example would be A Court of Thorns and Roses, where the main character, and I've completely forgotten her name, I think it's Faye or something, only she can save this fairy realm from disaster and ultimate destruction. The third character trope is that person, or people maybe, but that person that can speak to dragons. An example would be Anne McCaffrey's series, I think it's The Dragons of Pern. I know the world is Pern, and so I think it's The Dragons of Pern is the series. Another example would be something like a book like Aragon from the Inheritance Cycle, where just the dragon riders can speak to the dragons. Actually, I think the elves can too, but that would be an example. The fourth one is where those two strangers meet, and maybe they hate each other in the beginning, but then they ultimately fall in love. They find out that they were meant for each other. Two examples of this that I wrote down were the League series by Sherilyn Kenyon. In each and every book that I've read, it focuses on one character that ultimately meets another character, and they're like at odds with each other and fighting and not agreeing, and in one book I think they're even like, one's a bounty hunter and she's after him, but ultimately by the middle or 3/4 through, they've changed their mind and they're in love and they're gonna make it work. Another example would be the first book in the In Death series by J.D. Robb, and that is Naked in Death. In this book, the two main characters of the series, Eve Dallas and Rourke, just Rourke, no last name, just Rourke, the two of them meet in a case that Eve is investigating. Rourke is one of her suspects, so she's interviewing him, and by the end of the book, they're maybe not a great example because they're not exactly in love, or at least Eve isn't ready to admit that she's in love, but she's in love. The final character trope that I have is the lost child of royalty. An example of this would be The False Prince by, and I actually have it, here. The False Prince by Jennifer Nielsen. Great book, I recommend you get it. And the second example, again, would be something like the League series. Two books I had specifically from there would be the first book, Born of Night. The main League soldier in the story. I'm not gonna give too much more away. And the fourth book, Born of Shadows. So those are my top 5 character tropes. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other character tropes that you enjoy reading about, I hope you share them in the comments below. If you've liked this video, please like it, and please subscribe to my channel, and I will have more videos for you soon. Until then, TTFN!